Hey everyone, Tim and Jack here, and this is our video on pelvic floor activation. Okay, so today we're going to be covering 1, what is your pelvic floor exactly? 2, why is it important to contract? 3, how do you do it? 4, when should you do it? 5, what to avoid when contracting your pelvic floor.
What is the pelvic floor? To start, both men and women have it. In women, the pelvic floor is the muscles, ligaments, connective tissue, and nerves that support the bladder, the uterus, vagina, and rectum, and essentially keeps and helps all of those pelvic organs function. In men, the pelvic floor includes the muscles, tissues, nerves that support the bladder and rectum, and other pelvic organs. One pretty disturbing fact is that many people, particularly women, the pelvic floor does not work as well as it should. And unfortunately, it's estimated that about 1/4 of women face pelvic floor disorders.
Okay, so why is activating your pelvic floor so important? 1, it can help improve continence. 2, it provides support for your pelvic viscera, so over time proper activation can help reduce paunch belly or distended gut. 3, it helps increase intra-abdominal pressure, which will help create more stability of your spine and reduce chances of injury to your spine or back when doing any kind of exercise. 4th, it will help activate your transverse abdominis, which is really important for stabilizing your spine and your back as well. And last but not least, it can improve sexual performance in both men and women. Alright, how do you activate your pelvic floor? Well, here's a great way you can practice. What you can do is lie on your side or your back and bend your knees at about a 90-degree bend. So you'll want to activate and pull your pelvic floor upward. So when doing this, you should feel your anus move and tighten up. And in addition to that, you should also feel an activation and a squeezing of your urethra. And once you get this down, you'll want to hold that for about 10 seconds at a time. Relax, and then redo it again for about 10 more times.
Okay, so how do you know if you're doing it right? We'll start by looking at the perineum, and that's the space between your goods and your anus. And when you're contracting your pelvic floor, it should look and feel like a lift and a squeeze. So, tightening of your anus, like when you're holding in a poo or pinching one off. Apologize for being graphic, but hopefully that gets through. Also for women, you want to make sure you're tightening and squeezing your vagina and your urethra, like you're pinching or cutting it off when you're going pee. And for men, you want to lift your balls up, squeezing your urethra, and again, pinching off a pee.
Okay, so what to avoid when activating your pelvic floor? So first, you shouldn't feel like there's any kind of bulging or like you're pushing outward. So if it feels like you're kind of forcing out a little bit of pee or poo, that means you're doing it wrong. And then you also don't want to have a full bladder when doing this. It might feel a little bit uncomfortable, or it could even mask some of the activation or the feeling that you're going to get. Also, don't hold it for too long, and just try and make sure that you're getting a little bit of rest in between each repetition.
Takeaways from today. So when you're activating your pelvic floor, it's really great for reducing a paunch or that distended belly. In addition, it's also great for increasing your intra-abdominal pressure, which will stabilize your spine when you're working out. Also, it's great for improving your sexual performance. And now, when you're activating it, remember that it's more of a pulling motion, less of a pushing motion. So, that was our video on pelvic floor activation. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in. We're Tim and Jack, and stay healthy, stay fit.